So guys, welcome back. And topic for discussion today is money matches. Now, I've gone on record many times talking about that money matches aren't for me. It's not really who I am and what I want to try to do. Now, the heritage of our game is very much, played in pubs or certainly venues of that ilk, and obviously gambling and whatever surrounds that heritage is very much a part of it. When I went up to the snooker club as a youngster, 14, 15, you at least had to play for the light. It was best of three, loser plays the light, or you had to pay to learn. Nobody was learning you nothing for free, and it was fruit machines, it was 3-card brag, as it was then on a Saturday afternoon. There weren't really no Texas Hold'em poker then as such. It was more 3-card brag and all these different card games that people used to play, and it was very much gambling. It was gambling, drinking, smoking, eating fast food, and that was the lifestyle. And it was a lifestyle for a long time, and it was a lifestyle that was very unhealthy, that put me up to 18.5 stone. Whatever that is in kilos, I don't know, 120, 130, I really don't know. I hate to think about it. But I made a conscious decision that it wasn't what I really wanted to be doing. So I lost a heap of weight, the best part of 6 stones when I was at my peak. And, it just wasn't what I wanted to be doing. I didn't want to keep eating unhealthily. I didn't want to be smoking, and I didn't want to be drinking and gambling and all these different things. And thankfully for me, it's never a road that I've taken. I'm not particularly a gambler. I've had my moments where I've had educated bets on what I would like to think I know about, which would be predominantly tennis or snooker or golf, or a bit of the 9-ball pool back in the day when it was at Cardiff. I don't think you'd mind me saying, me and Lee Kendall used to like a little punt, but nothing that was ever beyond my control. So money matches, yeah, I played the odd one as a kid because that's what I was told that you were supposed to do. You were supposed to play county, and you were supposed to play interleague, and then you played in the England team, and then you were supposed to play money matches. And it was just never what I wanted to try and achieve. So as I progressed through my 20s, I wanted to be a professional player, in terms of I wanted to go about it as a professional player. I felt like that was the road that I wanted to go. I didn't want to go down the pool heritage, very good pool player that's gambling and into those activities. And thankfully I was really fortunate that I had the ability to play other cue sports as well, which enabled me to turn it into a genuine profession, as opposed to calling myself a professional pool player because I'm ranked on a certain criteria of a tour. So quite clearly the number 43rd ranked player on any of those professional tours in the UK, even though they're a very good pool player, are certainly not a professional player in my terms. Professional goes deeper than monetary. So it goes about how you conduct yourself, how you carry yourself, what you give back to the game, what you give back to the people that are aspiring to play the game, and all these different things. And yeah, every now and again, you're a human being and you fall into the trap of getting a bit sucked in, which has happened once or twice on social media. I don't particularly regret doing it, but I got sucked in a little once or twice that I think, okay, it's done now. But I do like to consider myself a professional player, and I do like to consider myself that the majority of the time, I'd like to think I carry myself okay as a professional player and somebody would aspire to be. Now, with that said, I've always said I'd be keen to play a challenge match. Now, you might be thinking, well, what's the difference? A challenge match to me is a proper venue with a proper arena where a person comes and purchases a ticket to watch. After all, we're professional players. We're providing entertainment, just like snooker players do, or just like dart players do. And, therefore, you play a match, you purchase a ticket to come and watch. Yeah, of course, there's got to be an atmosphere. Of course, people can have a beer. That's what happens at the darts. That's what happens at any sporting event, really, I've ever been to. But within reason. Some of these money matches are just way over the top, and something that I wouldn't want to be a part of. I certainly wouldn't be going to pool clubs and putting myself in the thick of that, where I just don't need to do it. I don't need to do it. Financially, I don't need to do it, and mentally, I don't think I want to do it. I'm quite happy to accept that over the last 6 or 7 years, mentally, I haven't quite been where I wanted to be. I've had a lot of hits personally, and it's hard, and sometimes I feel like I have achieved, quite a lot in the game, considering the things that have been going on away from the table. With different family things going on, and of course, a lot of people don't know that. I'm not a social media person in terms of putting my personal stuff on there. When it comes to, losing members of family or all different sorts of circumstances, But that's been going on the last 7 years. It's been really tough. So mentally, I don't want to be putting myself in a pool club with 300 or 400 people screaming, because they've got the gyro on it. It's just not where I'm at. However, what has come to light is that the pool fans desperately would like to see certain matches. So there was a poll on Pool Chat and Banter recently of who the pool fans considered to be the best player, who they'd considered to be the best player from yesteryear, and whether it was correct that the outcome or whatever. That's obviously for you guys to suggest. But the two guys that ended up contesting the fantasy final, if you like, on Pool Chat and Banter page was me and Tom Cousins, and it got me thinking that would be something that would be of interest to me. I get on with Tom. There's no dramas with me and Tom at all. I've got a lot of respect for him as a player. I've gone on record saying that I think he would be a top player in any era that I've played in, and I do believe I've played. I can't say previously to what went on before me, with the likes of Ross and Greg and Tommy and Keith and Lee, when they were at the peak, Terry, or all those type, Rob McKenna, all those type of guys. And there's more of them. So I'm sure I've missed someone, but not deliberately. But I can talk about from 1998 onwards, and in my mind, the likes of Gareth and Darren and Chris Mellin and Phil Harrison and the late Jason Twist, was a fantastic player. Amongst others, there's loads of players, but they would certainly feature in most people's top 10s that I've ever played, and I was very much a part of that era, and it was great being in that era, playing against those guys, and I owe them so much, because if it wasn't for them, then maybe I wouldn't have gone on to reach some of the levels that I've reached in my career. I'm absolutely certain I wouldn't. So with that in mind, me and Tom are in talks, which will make you happy, I hope. It's not finalised yet, but me and Tom are hoping to get a big game on in 224. Venue to be confirmed. Don't want to give too much away on that. It won't be in a pool club, or certainly if we get our way, it won't be in a pool club. It will be very much at a ticketed venue. We hope that you support it. You've cried out for it. You've wanted it. You've wanted for years, certainly, for me to play money matches. I think it would be fair to say that Tom could be argued as being the best money player in the world right now. And that's not to suggest that Mark Boyle wouldn't come into that conversation. And there's a few guys, but what I would say is those two would be the ones that I would have interest in playing. Now, obviously people talk about the yesteryear of the Darrens and the Chris Mellins and the Gareths and Phils. If that was happened, those matches should have happened years ago, when we were all in our prime, really. You know, it's like, I've no interest in playing any of them guys. I've known them too long. I've known the families of these, you know, it's just not where I'm at. I've no interest in playing any of them guys. You know, the likes of Mark Selby's obviously mentioned, super player, of course, fantastic player, along with Quinton, probably the best two snooker players I've ever played pool, or I've seen play pool. But again, not really where I'd be keen to play Tom. I think he's the new sort of kingpin. I think that'd be fair to say. I don't think I'm going to get any dramas with him. I don't think I'm going to get any aggro. I think you just play the match. I think you just get on with it. You shake the man's hand at the end if he wins, you know. And yeah, and I think I'd have the same with Mark Boyle, even though I haven't even spoken to Mark Boyle about this. But me and Mark get on fine. Speak to him every time I see him. Mutual respect there. And I just think genuinely at this moment in time, in this modern day, that Tom and Mark would probably be perceived as the two main players that are actively playing for money right now. Now, again, that's not to say that I'm speaking badly of a Sheppy or a Craig Waddingham, or, you know, those guys again play fantastically well for money, and I'm sure Liam Dunster would probably, you know, be more than a handful, as would a few of the guys. But for me right now, with what the pool fans seem to be asking for and liking, a game with Tom would certainly interest me in 224. Again, subject to all different things, subject to venue, whether we can make it happen, how we want to make it happen, and, you know, depending on how hectic things get in China or where things are for him in his life, you know, we can't predict exactly what's going to happen in 12 months' time, or where any of us are going to be, or what any of us are going to be doing. You know, touch wood that we're both healthy, and that wouldn't be an issue for us to play. So, yeah, with that, I can officially say that me and Tom are in talks for a big match in 224. So yeah. Now, on to how I see my 2024. So at this stage, I'm looking to take a step back from English 8-ball. I've played it for a long time, played it for a lot of years. Been in a part of Ultimate Pool for 3 years now. There's certainly no ill feeling, no fallout of any kind. Just decided that I'm just going to see how it goes for now. That's not to say 225, 226 I might not come back and play, but I've got a lot going on. I've got a lot of off-table stuff going on, a lot of travelling. You know, me private life with things at home, and there's just so many things going on. And I've got a 3-year-old girl, and it's about time that, you know, she came first as opposed to me buzzing around the place. And so I'm going to play China because I'm keen, and I've been looking forward to an opportunity in China probably for as long as I can remember. You know, I often consider, you know, how would I be in China if I was 10 years younger, you know, but needless to say, I would like to win a tournament in China. I'd like to sign off with a win. I was obviously very close in 2016 when I lost the deciding rack in the World Championship final. So I would like to sign off with that, and continue with the channel. I'm enjoying the YouTube channel. I've been very busy with private coaching, off the back of, you know, the success of the Ultimate Pool. You know, the platform that is provided for the players, certainly exposure-wise, off the back of the YouTube channel. I've had a lot of interest for the coaching. The exhibitions will stay the same. I've got trips planned to Australia and New Zealand. Don't see why that would need to change. But right now, the decision that I've made, as we're speaking now in the middle of August, would be that I'm going to take a break from English 8-ball pool in terms of the Ultimate Pool and tournaments. Never say never, you know. There could be a few U-turns before long. You never know. But I don't see myself playing the Pro Series next season. Whether I play the odd event, the odd invitational event, if Ultimate Pool were to invite me, I wouldn't rule that out. As I said, with no dramas, we haven't parted on bad terms at all. Just I need to free up some time. I've too much going on, and I feel that I've done the English pool for a very, very long time, and my choice of cut back on the travelling and all the kind of stresses and strains of it means that the English pool has been the one that's gonna be chopped at this stage. Now, as I said, we're gonna predominantly do the YouTube channel. I've got a media team. I've got some good sponsors involved for the channel. I'm really looking forward to working with them. And you know, anybody that would like to be involved in the channel in any way, whether it be the equipment that you've got or anything that you'd like to put forward for maybe to endorse on the channel. Obviously, we've got really big plans for it. So yeah, feel free to obviously get in touch and you know, comment on various things. We like your input. It's really important for what we're trying to achieve. You know, what you want from the channel primarily is more important than what we want to give from the channel. You know, we all want the same things. So yeah, exciting times, going in different directions, and I'm sure the news that me and Tom are having a chat will get a few posts and comments. So we'll leave it there for now. I've rambled on enough, and hope that you like the new videos that we're going to release coming soon. So I'll leave it at that, and I will catch you soon.